Hey guys, good afternoon. It has been a little bit since I've gone on video and shared some information with you guys. I had my own high school graduate just graduate last week, so we were doing all the things, and so now I get to jump into mom slash academic advisor role for him to get him ready for his fall semester. So now that all that's done and we're moving into summer, I want to give you guys some information about the last poll. As a transfer student, will your credits transfer to your new school? Before we jump into that answer, just want to remind you guys that you have one more day to schedule your academic advising cheat code session with me for only $19. You can schedule for any time in June, but you do have to sign up by the end of tomorrow to get that special. All right, so back to the question. As a transfer student, will your credits transfer to your new school? The options were yes, if they have the same accreditation, no, or there's no way to tell for sure before becoming a student at my next school. So this is another loaded question, one that has been known to discourage students that are transferring from schools. So I'm going to take a few minutes and just kind of unbox this a little bit for you guys. So long story short, if there is the same accreditation, your transfer credits could be accepted at your new school. There are a lot of different variables that go into that decision. Typically, in most schools that are funded by the state, at least, you do have to be a current student. That means you have to have been accepted through admissions, and you have to have your official transcripts sent to the school before anybody can tell you what credits will be accepted. Now, if there is time, that means not during registration, your academic advisor might do a complimentary review of your transfer credits. And all this means is which credits might transfer over. Please don't confuse that with these credits will transfer, and then you put all your eggs in that basket, and then you go ahead and get admitted and find out those classes actually do not transfer. There's a lot of different variables about that. I'm going to go over those in just a second. So one of the things you want to do, like I said, you want to go ahead and submit your application fee, be admitted to a school, and submit your official transcripts. Because what happens there is once your transcripts are received, they go through a transcript evaluation process. And so the transcript evaluator looks at the courses that you've taken at other schools, pulls those course descriptions, bumps them up against the course descriptions of the classes that are required at your new school. Sometimes those are accepted very easily, and sometimes there's a discrepancy and they might not be accepted. And that can be devastating, especially if you're in your last year or so of your college schooling, because you've taken all these classes and now they can't transfer to your new school. I know firsthand, well, really secondhand, that military spouses run into this a lot. Kind of a personal story is that my mom was pursuing her bachelor's degree while my dad was active duty Air Force. And because of all the different times they moved, she essentially had to start over in her program because the schools that were available to her back then, this was in the 90s, they wouldn't accept her credits. And I can, kind of remember how some of those conversations went. And I could definitely remember how discouraged she was. So working with me, we can determine, if that's a good move for you as far as transferring to another school with those credits, no matter what your situation, military, not military. So let's say those credits that you thought should transfer, they actually don't. That does not mean you're at a dead end. There is an option for you. And this is something that a lot of students do not know about. It's called a course substitution. And what that is the transcript evaluator, they've done their evaluation. They show what courses will or will not be transferred. You get to your academic advisor. Your academic advisor reviews that transcript evaluation, and they can further determine if a course substitution form should be completed on your behalf. And what happens is we typically ask you to find the course description from the school that you took the class in. It has to match up with the catalog year. You give us that information, we complete a course substitution form, and we send it to the department of that class so that they can also review that information and see if their course description marries up enough with your old course description so they can accept those credits. Now that is completely on the department, but I will tell you that the success rate that I've experienced is probably about 80% of approval for those courses. So there is another step that you can go to if you first get that denial of course substitution. Going back to one of my earlier videos, that's one of the things where my husband and I, we connected before he was my husband. I just happened to notice from a previous advisor that he had his CCAF degree and a lot of classes weren't being counted. So I submitted those course descriptions and I was able to knock off about 6 classes from his degree plan. So please make sure you have all of those resources with you. If you're running into the problem of, classes not being counted, I advise you to make set up a session with me and let's go through what those look like. I can give you a step-by-step on how to prepare your package for that, who to talk to, what to ask for, how to push that forward. So don't get discouraged about that. So again, yes, your credits can transfer to your college that you're going to. It has to be the same accreditation. However, it's not a guarantee. There could be some legwork that's involved in that. So one more time, if you have questions about the course substitutions, transfer credits, set up an appointment with me. That is at dothework.com. That's DUE, thework.com. It's only $19 if you register today or tomorrow before that price goes back up, okay? So stay tuned for the next poll on the Facebook page. Take care.